do an insight video today. Over the last couple of days, I felt a lot of things coming to the surface, a lot of things coming out, a lot of things being released, which is a part of the transmutation and transformation. Saint Germain and the universal law of transmutation and transformation. I feel like there's a lot of things coming to the surface, a lot of things that need shedding, letting go, as we start to go into the spiritual light. As I connect into this, and I'm talking about this now, I've just had a being or something come forward. I feel like there's a being that's just stepped forward, or like dressed in white with long blonde hair. And as I start to talk about this, I feel like something stepped forward. As I'm talking about this, I feel like it's very much sort of like in line and in sync with a lot of what's going on for a lot of us at the moment on the planet, but within our own individual lives. But this is part of like as we're sort of like the awareness and the awakening's coming, we've got to start letting go and trusting more and coming more in line with the universal flow and the universal force as this starts to come forward. There's a lot of things that we're still attached to, like in the physical world, with a lot of the stuff that's going on with like materialism, stuff like that. So we're all trying to shed that and let go of that. Also, with this energy that's just stepped forward, I feel like it's like a guiding energy. It's like a sort of like an energy of sort of like source energy, or like your higher self or your infinite self. This step forward, as in like a supportive role to try and align you with like your higher outcomes, your higher purposes. But trust is a massive thing at the moment, and it's about sort of trusting the universe as it starts to flow. This is part of the universal laws of vibration. This is the universal laws of attraction, and very much sort of like, again, with this thing that I've been talking about, the universal law of correspondence. I feel this is happening for a lot of us at the moment, that we need to start letting go and releasing a lot of the old patterns and the old cycles. But this is what comes. The energy feels quite heavy at the moment as we start to move through this, as we start to move through some of the old sort of like cycles and the old sort of the old cycles and the old energy that's being released at the moment. I'm also feeling like very much so that for me, a lot of things we need to let go of this. We need to get into these new vibrations, these new frequencies that are trying to harmonize and integrate with our energy systems at the moment. I feel the masters around us helping to move us forward with this at the moment. Our reality is very much connected to our level and state of consciousness. It's about sort of moving into a different state of being. I've talked about this, like I talked about a video yesterday about source, and I talked about like sort of like the fact that we have this ability to shift and change our reality at will. The only things that tend to get in our way and block us within this physical life is usually when we're actually being attached to something, or if we become powerless in a sense by attaching to a situation or event around yourself that you know that you're putting your energy into. So this could be anything. This could be a relationship. This could be a work sort of event, a work thing. This could be sort of like feeling like stressed or worried about things that are going on in life at the moment. So all this kind of thing is, so it's very much around like shedding today. It's about very much about releasing and letting go, but it's also about remaining in that light frequency, that light body, that light energy. And this is obviously our aspect of source, where when we come into that, we harmonize, we align, and we let go. There's a lot of things that are going on for a lot of us where maybe we feel there's a lot of situations around us, like in the physical world and the physical reality, that are going on that we need to move through, and we need to release, to allow that new frequency, that new vibration to start to be released. We've got the angels around us at the moment that are very much sort of connected into us. I picked two cards this morning because I was feeling a little bit sort of like out of balance, and I needed to like ground a little bit this morning. And the two cards that came out, one was Metatron, which was divine intelligence, which very much connects to the flow of the universe, the flow of information that's around you, the support of like the angels and the spirit world around you. Divine intelligence also connects to like it will connect to a Serapis Bay around sort of like ascension, which is becoming more sort of connecting back into the universal law of oneness, but also the universal Ascension is about oneness. It's about this sense of connecting into our own light, our own energy, coming back into harmony, coming back into balance. And this is something, a practice that we should be doing every day anyway as spiritual beings. I know this is something that I'm trying to practice at the moment. It is difficult when you've got like things happening in your physical reality, and you sort of getting drawn into the human aspect of self, where you're very much connected into like the physical day-to-day stuff that's going on. But that all needs to be cleared to let these new energy frequencies, these energy vibrations to start to come into your reality. But also it's like this sense of creation and co-creation is so important at the moment, and this is what this source energy brings. And then again, this connects to the ascended master of Almora, which is very much around sort of like the divine flow and the divine intelligence and the divine will. The divine will is a really, really important aspect of being a spiritual being, because when you start to realize and connect into your source energy, you understand that you have this divine will, or this divine sort of vibration and frequency, which very much connects again to this transformation and transmutation. So it's about when we become attached to something and we put our energy into that and we flow our energy into that, then what we start to do is we create that reality. And then so a lot of the time we're stuck in issues and problems around ourselves. This is to do with our own energetic field. This is to do with our own energy that we're creating. As I start to connect into this, my heart chakra is opening up, and there's a flow coming through, down through my crown chakra and going out through my heart chakra. So I know that even as I start to talk about this, I'm releasing it. I know it's also connected to the angels, because I can just feel an impression of two angel wings behind me, two white angel wings. There's no sort of like embodied angel with it. It's just two white wings. And when I see that, it's like a sign to say that this is like guided by the angels as well. So again, it's about like that again, letting go and releasing stuff at the moment. There's going to be a period, I think, for the next few months where we're going to be going through quite a lot of stuff that we need to release, but we're just moving into sort of like, it's April time now, we're moving into spring, so it's like this new beginnings, new growth, new sort of awareness, but new vibrations and frequencies. It's very much around sort of practices, if you know, as spiritual beings, sort of like relating to crystals, and sort of like anything that takes us back to source, anything that takes us back to that kind of vibration and frequency. And again, this connects to the universal law of correspondence, which is about the inner source of energy. As I start to connect into it, I've got this beautiful golden light. As I'm connecting into it, my whole body's vibrating with this beautiful golden light, and it's also, I've got like a gold center within my heart chakra, and I feel this again connects to the ascended master of Lord Lanto. Lord Lanto is a being that walked on the earth and was very much around sort of illumination, and illumination is very much around like the heart chakra and the heart center, but he was also about sort of like holding this vibration, holding this frequency, and when you say like illumination is bringing light and energy into your energetic field and your energetic being. And what you can do then is, when you illuminate, or to me illumination is like this vibration, this frequency. When you connect into it, what you start to do is you dissolve and you release energetic frequencies and things and events that are holding you back. And what you do is you by connecting more into a source and into illumination, you're getting clarity, insight, awareness, and understanding of outcomes, and how you can use your energy in a way that you can start to create, manifest, release, and surrender's a big thing at the moment. And that's always a strange kind of word, like surrender, but surrender is sort of like trusting. Trust is a massive thing. It's about trusting the universe, trusting the flow of things as they start to come in at the moment. And I feel the masters are around us in that way at the moment. So I want to talk about Serapis Bay, I want to talk about Saint Germain, I want to talk about Almora, and I want to talk about Lord Lanto at the moment. And they're all connected in there. And you'll find with masters and all beings, they work in union. It's the universal law of oneness. They work in as these infinite beings of pure light, pure understanding, pure awareness, but they also work in harmony and union. And this is where the universal law of oneness comes in again. I also can see, like, I've seen ascended masters before, And I've got a vision in my head at the moment, like where I've got like a gold staff, and I've got like these different spheres or these energy centers that are on there. Like there's different sort of like circles of energy. So you've got like pink, blue, sort of like gold, white, yellow, all these kind of colors that are on this staff, and they all sort of like relate and connect to like this, any kind of staff. If you see it like with a universal being, they're a guide, and individuals that usually have like staffs, they bring this wisdom, this understanding, and like if you look at sort of like I was going to say the Hierophant, which is like a guiding force, like in the tarot cards, that is a guide. But there's sort of like there's another guide. I'm trying to think of it at the moment. But anyway, a staff is like a guide. It's like it helps to sort of like move and shape you. But also the staff is also like individuals with staffs, like when you look at magicians and things like that, they bring like a lot of energy, a lot of light, a lot of vibration and frequency. And I feel this staff is very much around that. The fact it's gold, it brings the universal source, but it also those kinds of spheres of light that are on there are bringing different sort of like energy frequencies and different sort of like energy vibrations that we're sort of like, and the staff is symbolic of the different integration of energy that's coming for each and every one of us at the moment. The guy's got like long white hair, and he's got like blue eyes, but he's got like beautiful colours, and obviously it brings, and also it's sort of like got this beautiful sort of violet sort of like shawl or something, not shawl, but like that he's wearing. He's wearing sort of like old sort of like clothes. You see like it sort of like looks like biblical. It looks like Christ sort of energy, where they wore sort of like I can't explain what it is, but it's wearing, and the vibration of the vibrant and like violet vibration is very much around again like this transmutation, transformation. Um, so there's a lot of energy around us at the moment, and we're connecting into that. We're connecting into that. This guide actually that's coming through is an ascended master. I feel like it's an ascended master, but I can't sort of like visualize what the ascended masters sort of like name or who they are at the moment. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. You don't always have clarity in that moment of who's there. But what this could mean is this is a new vibration, a new frequency, a new energy that's working. But it's also symbolic of those new energies and these vibrations that are starting to align with you right at this moment. If you see anything with any individuals with white hair, they bring like, white is very much like this source energy, but it brings like truth, unity, understanding, awareness. It brings clarity, healing, cleansing. White holds so many different vibration, but it's also about purity, and that's a really lovely vibration, because purity is like brings this pure source energy, pure source vibration, but it also sort of connects you to your essence, to your authentic self, like, which is this higher self, this infinite self. But also by seeing this, it's telling me that the sort of like the energy sort of like gateway or portals are opening up as we're getting these new energies coming down. I've been sort of like, again, sort of drawn to like chakras and energy centers over the last couple of days, and that's very much around sort of like, again, they talk about the 12 chakras, and then there's loads more than that, but you talk about universal gateways, soul star, and then you talk about the earth star. These are all sort of like chakras that we were given sort of a while back, to try and open up to these new energy centers. It very much feels like, again, it's going back to like times when we were like Lemuria, Atlantis, where we were very spiritual in light. It's about sort of like getting into our energetic body and starting to really open up those energy sort of like energy fields and energy frequencies, because our physical bodies are changing and shifting and changing as these new frequencies come down, as we get these light activations and these light frequencies that are coming in, and they're very much sort of connecting us again to the spirit world, again to the ethereal realms where like the masters and the guides are. There is no disconnection at the moment. We're very much open. We're open to the flow of the universe. We're open to the flow of energy that's coming in. All we have to do is ask, and we have to sort of like, that's what I feel like I'm being told. Just ask, and open up, and get into that right sort of sacred space, and you'll start to receive that insight and that information that's needed at the moment. There's a lot going on with energy, and I feel like actually I'm being told to sort of move into that energy and try and be more into that flow, because I think with a lot of us at the moment, we're trying to shift and change into a space as spiritual beings where we start to receive, and we're being told to sort of to be more in the flow, and just allow, get into a space, get into a frequency, and just open up to start to receive that, and it will start to flow naturally. Allow the energy to start to flow naturally. Again, it's about balance, and again, when I was talking about balance the other day, I was talking about, so I've been given, like the last couple of days, I was given the angel number the other day of 888, which is like prosperity, but it's infinite abundance, and it's the infinite cycle of giving and receiving, and receiving energy and open up and expressing it. The heaviness that we feel is that a lot of the time is down to our own level of consciousness, and again, this goes back to the universal law of correspondence, where all creation starts from our inner vibration, our inner frequency, and it's very much around that. I feel like we're being really, really like drawn to that energy and that frequency. I've still got this guide here with this long white hair, and he's got this energy staff with all these sort of like energy, like energy centers that are each, like, it's got this gold staff, and these energy centers are on there of all different sort of colors. Each sphere as well, like, is it like I feel like with spheres or energy balls or anything that you see like that, are very much around sort of like reality and dimensional shifts, but they're also like to do with frequencies of are like different dimensions, different different dimensions, energy frequencies. So each level of spiritual dimension has a frequency and a vibration to it, and this guide in its staff holds all these different energy frequencies to these different like dimensional sort of experiences and realities as a spiritual being. So it brings a lot of universal energy as it's coming in, and I feel like we're opening up universal keys. I've just seen a set of gold keys, universal keys that are like a circle, where you see those old sort of keys that fit an old door, like an old wooden door, and that's being opened at the moment. So I know there's new energies coming in for lots of different people at the moment. It's just about being opened, but we really need to clear. And I feel that's the message that I'm being given to myself at the moment: clear your energy field, open it up, because at the moment we've got a lot of energy that's happening around us, especially within the world. It's so heavy, and a lot of us are spiritual light workers and empaths and people that are psychic, which we all are. We're starting to really absorb a lot of that heaviness, and I'm being told that needs to be released, that needs to be shed and let go, and all of this is obviously leading to like rebirth with new cycles and new energies that are coming in, and this guide very much brings it. I'm going to have to go off after this reading. I'm really going to have to try and find out this guide, because I've got a vision of it and a picture of it, of this guide, and I know who it is and what it is. I'll know it as soon as I see it, but I need to try and find that guide, and then what I'll do is I'll put information underneath to it when I find the guide's identity, and I'll put it in underneath in this reading, so you can see what guide I'm talking about. But it brings a lot of energy. There's a lot of releasing and shedding, which is what's needed at the moment. So I'd say, for a lot of us, it's just about trying to keep our vibrations as high as possible, remaining in that light frequency, that being open to source energy, open to the flow of the universe is what's needed at the moment. So that's the insight for today.